So, I know it's hard to believe, but the Lakers actually did do some good things in their season opener. Take, for example, this tremendous defensive sequence in the fourth quarter. And watch how swarming, crisply connected, and engaged everyone is for the entire possession. And by the end of it, we get this tremendous twisting steal by Austin Reaves that actually leads to a transition bucket on the other end. So in today's video, let's quell some of the overreaction a bit and take a look at some plays of defensive promise that the Lakers actually flashed. And before you call me a homer, let me just be clear, I'm not dismissing all of the terrible that we saw the other night, and in case you needed a quick recap of all the bad, well, here you go. But enough of all of that, no need to gouge your eyes out any further. And with that said, let's get back to some actual encouraging signs of life from the Lakers on the defensive end of the floor. And let's first take a look at some interconnected team synergy. And in this first play, pay attention to how well Deandre stays attached to Steph Curry out on the perimeter. And then, watch Rui, Reaves, and Luka converge on the cutters to muck things up and allow Smart to jump in for the deflection. This is a good example of everyone being equally engaged and in sync with one another, as they move crisply to close in the gaps on the offense. Next, watch the solid ball pressure Luka applies on Curry even after the switch and how attentive Austin is to stop Buddy's drive after he closes the gap. And then we get the great lunge out by Deandre on the Horford 3, topped off by some scrapping to secure the rebound. And in this play in particular, I love how Luka leads the charge right at the point of attack when it comes to bringing the effort and engagement. No one ever lets up on this play till the very end. Now, this next play results in a bucket for the Warriors, but I thought the process was spot on. And I want you guys to pay attention to how crisply the Lakers switch, trap, and rotate. For better or worse, this is the shot the Lakers were willing to give up. And on most nights, JK isn't going to hit 4 threes. But it's the active tracking and rotating that should make you the most encouraged. Next, pay attention to Deandre, Smart, and Luka on this sequence. From Deandre's perimeter containment, to Smart sliding in for the charge, to Luka coming in for the weak side block, everyone played their part to perfection. This is what swarming defense on a string looks like. Now it's just all about showing consistency in communication, motor, and awareness. Next, let's take a look at the Lakers' best three-man defensive unit of Marcus Smart, Jake LaRavia, and Jared Vanderbilt. Because every time all three players were out on the court at the same time, the Lakers were wreaking havoc defensively. And then when you throw in Jackson Hayes into the mix, this group got extra frisky and frenetic. Watch LaRavia and Smart work in tandem here to absolutely harass and contain the Warriors' ball handlers, eventually resulting in this Buddy-heeled airball. Now watch this group expertly converge and close out quick on the shooters, absolutely cramping the Warriors' airspace on the perimeter. And when you can add a very active and engaged Luka to the mix, this group really thrives off their motor, physicality, and hustle. Alright, next, I specifically want to take a look at Deandre Ayton, because I know Lakers fans are going through it with regards to his performance on Tuesday night, losing their heads and overreacting to his low motor, lackluster performance. But I'm here to tell you that there were some actual good things that Deandre Ayton did, specifically when it came to containing on the perimeter. Here he is in drop coverage, lunging out and using his length to bother this Jimmy jumper. Watch him switch onto Steph here and do a good job sticking with him on the step back to ultimately bother the shot. And all night long, Deandre showed off some pretty disciplined, happy feet that kept Curry a little more contained than usual out on the perimeter. Here he does a great job on the weak side altering Curry's shot. Unfortunately, no one rotated to have his back, but JK ended up missing the dunk anyway. Here he is cutting JK's driving lane off and bothering his shot. Unfortunately, Austin ended up fouling him, but this was a great effort nonetheless. And while Deandre definitely could have been more impactful on both ends, his performance clearly wasn't as disastrous as people are making it out to be. Lastly, let's take a closer look at what LaRavia did on the defensive end of the floor, because in my opinion, outside of Marcus Smart, he was probably the Lakers' second best defender of the night. And the way that he defended Jimmy Butler was particularly encouraging. Watch as he gets switched onto Jimmy Butler on this play, and pay attention to how he leverages his size, physicality, and mobility to stay connected to Butler for the entire possession, making sure he never fully feels comfortable. And why JJ Redick just didn't start LaRavia over Gabe Vincent, I have no idea. And for a guy his size, he even did a pretty solid job chasing around shooters. Just watch him really chop his feet up to stay attached to Steph on this possession. You'll never mistake him for the quickest, most athletic guy on the floor, but you'll also rarely ever see him lacking in the effort and competitiveness department on nearly every play. Alright, so there you have it, some Lakers defensive silver linings. Not as bad as you thought, huh? Now obviously the Lakers have a lot of work to do on both ends to get the type of synergy and connectedness that a team like the Warriors have seemingly already established. But if we're trying to take an actual objective eye on things, it's not like the Lakers didn't show flashes of who they can be and what they can do on the defensive end of the floor. So take a deep breath and let the natural process of this season run its course, and let's hope and pray that JJ Redick puts together the right lineup configurations out on the court to help the Lakers best succeed. But what were you guys most encouraged about with regards to the Lakers' performance on Tuesday night versus the Warriors? What still concerns you? And what things do you think are beyond the Lakers' internal control and actually need to be addressed via roster moves? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video and most importantly hit subscribe. This has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.